Hello, this is Nikolai Markovich from Echolaketech Technologies, echolaketech.com. In this video, this is a third part in a series of videos on how to create a calendar app using Bubble. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a calendar so that clients can go and schedule appointments. Now we've already got this calendar on here, and this is set up for you as a owner to go and make times available for your clients. Now what we're going to do is we're going to actually add another calendar on here, and the reason being is because you as a user will be logging in and setting up appointments. However, your clients will not be using a login. They won't have an account in your app. So we need to make it so that any of your clients that come in can go and see the available time slots. Whereas when you log in, you want to see all of the time slots that are either available or have been reserved by your clients. For your clients that come to the app, we need to set up a special calendar for them that doesn't require a login. So what I'm going to do for starters is I'm just going to copy this existing one, click over here, and paste. So now I have two calendars on here, and double click on this. So this is calendar B, and I'm just going to call this one calendar client. And for the search on it, what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to skip this for now. In a little bit we are going to actually let me undo delete. We're going to actually put a criteria in here, but we need to do some database work first, which I'll get to in a moment. But what we are going to do is we are going to have this set up, where is it, so that it is not visible on page load, but I need to come back over here, make it visible. And then what we're going to do is add a condition. So when current user isn't logged in, we are going to make this visible. So again, basically when your clients come to your app, they won't need to log in, and we want to go and make this visible. And then I'm just going to go back to this other calendar. Now this is the calendar I'm just going to call it the owner. And what we will do is when current user isn't logged in, we're actually going to hide this one. Oh, did I get these backwards? So we're going to hide it, and this one's going to be visible. Okay, perfect. All right, so when the current user, you as a owner, is not logged in, it's going to be hidden, and then your clients who will not be logging in will be visible. Just like that. Okay, now what we want to do is we are going to create a pop-up so that they can go and sign up for an event. Now what we want to do here is, do we want to copy one of these? Let's see here. I think I'll start. I'm just going to copy this one, copy with workflows, and then paste with workflows. Okay, and we're actually not going to be creating an event. We'll be submitting or requesting. Request time slot. Like that, and then closing. And so these are actually, I'm going to delete these because these are actually going to be, we won't be able to edit these. Your clients won't be able to edit these. So parent groups, start time, like that. Make it a little bit bigger, and I'm just going to go like that. And then similarly for this one, parent group calendars, end time. Like that. And I could have made these just one text field as well. So now I'm actually going to move these up just a little bit and change this to request time slot. Like that. I'm just going to clean this up. Request time slot. Now what we do need to do in here is enter in what we want to. So we'll call it meeting name or appointment. Appointment name. Like that. Appointment. Like that. And that's of type text, so that's okay. So we have the appointment name, and we're going to want to know who the client is. So let's do your, let's see, I'll just do first name. First name, like that. Last name, like that. And let me just move this down a little bit to give some space, because the other thing that I would like to add on here are some comments. Comments. Reason for appointment. Like that. Make this a little bit bigger. And since I'm taking up the whole space, I'll just write it all out. Okay. Now this is going to also be text field. So this is going to be first name. Get rid of that. Now I am making these, leaving these as text because since we're not creating user accounts, we don't need to set up or create an account for them, so we don't need their email for setting up a username. But make this even bigger. Actually, I'm going to move this down a bit more. Give some space. How big are these? These are 35. These are 27. We'll make these 30 height, just to kind of line things up a little bit better here. And I'm going to make these 30. Like that. Let's see here. We've got this one at Y of 92. This one's at 91. So let's like that. This one's at 123, 123, 155, and 155. Okay, good. These are lined up. And what I need to do, like that. Slide these over a bit more. Okay. So now I've got input appointment name, first name, last name. Now what we want to do is also collect phone number. All right, let's do email first. closer. And this does need to be of type email for this one. Now again, we're not using this for setting up your client account, but this is so that you can have contact information for your clients. Email. Like that. Email, and that's fine. And let's also add phone number. Phone number. Like that. And this is going to be US phone. And phone number, like that. And now for the comments. All right. Now for this, I'm not going to copy and paste because what I want to do is add a multi-line input. And I'm just going to put that underneath here like that. So if we just had a regular input, it's just going to be on a single line. This one here, it gives us some flexibility. I also want to limit the number of characters. And I'm just going to say 240. Like that. This input should not be, I should actually make sure all of these inputs are not empty, not empty, not empty. This input not empty, not empty. Super. Okay. Like that. So now we have this form set up, and we can go and create the request. All right, so now, before we do all of that, we are going to need to go into data, and data types the calendar. We need to create some fields. So first name, it's of type text. Got last name, text. And we've got a phone number. And that's actually going to be of type text as well for the phone number. Let's see, so we've got comment. That's of type text. And so first name has the email and appointment name. So email, and that is also going to be of type text. And then we have subject. Of type text. Okay. So now we should have all the fields that we need to go and request this time slot. So now what we're going to do is we're not going to be doing any creating a calendar event, or we'll leave actually the reset for the moment. And insert action, we're actually going to be doing make a change to a thing. The thing is going to be the parent group's calendar event. And what we're going to do is we'll just kind of start from the top, comments equals what was the name of this? Popup. Actually, we don't need that for the moment. Email. Where is comments input, multi-line input A value. I'm just going to quickly go back and change the name of this to comments workflow, and then we're going to go next one, comments email equals input emails value. We got first name is the input from the first name value. Oop, that's good. And last name input. Let me just move this up some. Last name value. Phone number. Let's input phone number value. And subject. Where are you, subject? Did I pass it? Okay, appointment name. Okay, so now when we go and click on the request time slot button, it's going to go, we want to reset and update that event. Now what we want is when the event is clicked, we actually want to pop up. I got to change the name. Calendar event request time slot. There. So what we want to do is there, pop up request time slot and request time slot like that. Okay. Now the other thing that we want is pop up this. We want to actually get rid of this one here. So we don't want the ability when when the user's not logged up. Sorry, I want to keep that because owners, we want to allow the calendar to be clicked only when current user is logged in. Where are you? Is logged in. So this way we only allow the calendar to be clicked, any of the dates to be clicked to pop up the create a calendar event, this here, which is, where is it here, calendar event, there. So we only want this to pop up by the owner. I gotta fill this search key out, yes, okay. So now we can do this. So actually what we're gonna do is we are going to search for all of the calendar events that are available. And if there's something in the calendar event, and I'm just going to pick email. Email is not, isn't empty. Okay. I'm sorry, is empty. So when the email is empty, then I want to see all of those calendar events. So when one of your clients goes and sets up an appointment or reserves an appointment slot, they have to put the email in there, their email in there, so then it will no longer be empty. So we don't want to show that time slot is still available. Okay. Okay, so we have some errors here. Let's just kind of clean those up. So this is on the request time slot. So let's go over here, the request time slot. All right, and since this pop-up was a copy and paste of another pop-up, we don't need that condition, so just get rid of that, clear those out. Okay, the next thing, let's kind of make this a little bit neater. Let's find the location, 213 and 154. So let's make this one 213 and 154. There. So now they're over on top of each other. Now the next thing we want to do is in the workflows, and I think so this was like the owner's So this would be your event creation, if you will. And I had this set up for the request time slot, which we don't actually want to do that. We want to actually create it like that. Now, what we do want to do, I am going to copy this, paste it. What we want is the, let's see here. We want the calendar client. So when your client clicks on the calendar, we open up the request, or send data to the request time slot, request time slot. Okay. Now let's give this a try. So this screen right here is for you to go and you can create events and so forth. I'm not going to go do that. I did that in a prior video. This one here is for a client. So if they click on any one of the dates, they can't go and create an event. But they can go on here and they can request a time slot. So test Joe Smith and Joe 22 at test.com and 555 like that. And this is a test. Okay, just like that. And request time slot. And it disappeared as expected. So this is working. Now let's go back over here, and it's still showing up over here. Now what I need to do is I need to go and show the information for both you as the owner of the calendar as well as the client, and I will do that in the next video. But first, let's just do one check here on the data. So data types, in case you're not familiar, so data types is where we create the structure. But if we want to look at the app data, we come over here and we look at the app data. Now you can see on here, this is a test meeting. That was Joe 22. So it is indeed updated in the database. If you're not familiar with this app data, so what you can do on here is you can actually click the little pencil and you can go in and make any changes to the database, like manual edit, like that, and then you can save it. And so you can see it's in the database. If I click on it again, it is in there. So that's just something to be aware of and familiar with as you create your own apps, is that you come to the data types to create your data structures, and then you can look at the app data here, the actual content within your data structures. Hope you found this video useful. If you do, give me a thumbs up below. I'd much appreciate that. And if you have any questions or comments, drop me a note down below as well. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next video.